welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. I cannot even grasp the concept that it is 2021. I just feel it's so insane. Year, thank the Lord, ended, but here we are in 2021, moving and grooving. So, as you guys know, last year I started a series called MLM Horror Stories and Experiences where I read your guys' MLM horror stories and experiences that you send to me. My email's down below if you want to send me your own MLM horror story. And I really feel like you guys wanted me to bring that into 2021. Let me know down below what you think. Do you want this series to continue? Normally, I upload this every single Friday. So do you want this to continue throughout the rest of the year, or would you like this to be the last month that we do it every single Friday? I would love your guys' feedback down below because I'm always looking to make content that I love, but also content that you guys like to watch. I just truly love to make videos where we can really spread the message about how individuals are treated in MLMs, their experiences, because that's what makes this real. I feel like a lot of the times when I speak about MLMs, people always want to come to me and they want to, have an argument about, oh, you're lying. No, that's not true. And I'm like, yes, it is true. You can watch the hundreds and hundreds of MLM horror stories I've read. We're not all making this up. This is actual things that happen to people. So let me know if you want this to continue. So grab your coffee. I actually got an espresso for Christmas. It has been the best thing ever. It is so delicious. I don't know if I love it more than my Keurig thus far, but I'm loving it. So I've got my coffee and we are going to get straight into today's videos. We have plenty of horror stories to read. So let's get started. So the first one is a Beachbody horror story. It says, hey Deanna, I've got a juicy Beachbody story here. Sorry in advance, it's so long. I really think though people should be aware of some of the negative things I experienced. So I became a Beachbody discount coach in December of 2016, and about a year later decided to become a hobby coach and eventually a part-time coach. One summer, I wasted so much time sending like 60 invites every single day for 2 months straight with literally zero results or income. Anyways, the end of 2019 was the worst. We had a 6-week push group to end the year as a 15-star diamond team. Realizing now it was literally all just about getting our coach to the top. That status wasn't even for the team, just for her. I'll call her Cece. My wedding was coming up on January 11th of 2020, and I understandably was getting stressed and super busy about 2 weeks before the wedding. I was scared to speak up in our 15-star group chat, but I thought we were all in this together, so I simply said that I was still working hard and doing my absolute best, but I was also stressed with my wedding around the corner. I didn't say I was giving up or not doing anything, just looking for a little encouragement and grace. Only 2 people responded, and they literally just said, quote unquote, too bad, we're all busy. I was so incredibly hurt. I almost quit after New Year's and now wish I had. By the way, I was one of the few in the group who actually held diamonds for all 6 weeks. Everyone was paying for at least 1 to 3 family members to hold their rank, by the way. It was horrible and I was so miserable. Also, 1 week a girl accidentally dropped diamond and that poor girl felt so ashamed and went MIA for a week before coming back and apologizing profusely. Cece was actually livid, but trying to be gracious too. It was awful. So I want to pause really quickly and explain some stuff. So clearly you guys are hearing she's talking about this qualification period. So I actually am doing a video on this for you guys because I get so many questions about it. But with Beachbody, they actually have rank emerald, ruby, diamond, and then 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, 6 star, 7 star, 8 star, 9 star, all the way to 15 stars. They have so many flippin' ranks through their rank structure. And within that, in order to hit your rank, so say you want to hit 1 star diamond. So I want to be a 1 star diamond coach, right? I have to have someone in my downline that holds the rank of diamond for 6 weeks. So that's where it gets really messed up because what that means is within those 6 weeks, you must hold and maintain your rank, meaning nobody can quit underneath you. Nobody can go inactive underneath you. You have to make sure you have everything you need in order to qualify for those continuous 6 weeks. If within those 6 weeks, say the coach under me, she drops diamond, she's no longer diamond rank anymore because, maybe a coach quit or coaches couldn't stay active that were in her downline, I then lose my qualification to be a 1-star diamond coach and must restart over again whenever my coach hits diamond again. So when people are talking about all this stress that's going on because they're trying to help their coach hit 15-star diamond, you guys, that means that 15 people underneath Cece, the person that she's talking about, 15 people have to hold the rank of diamond for 6 weeks. And then everyone under those 15 people have to stay active and they have to not quit within those 6 weeks. Again, I'm gonna have another video going in depth about how to rank up, the rank structure, what it means to be an elite coach, and all of these things, because I feel like Beachbody is very like intricate with all of their little things and qualifications. You don't just hit that rank, you know what I mean? You have to qualify for it, which is not very common within a lot of MLMs to have to hold a rank for a certain amount of weeks in order to maintain that rank. With other MLMs, you can generally rank up as long as you hit, you know, the amount of people under you, or you hit your sales quota, boom, you're that rank. Not with Beachbody, it's completely different. And again, yeah, it can be really stressful for the people under you to maintain that rank, to now have to start buying things for people under them. Like say someone under myself, right? Say I'm trying to hold diamond for my upline to hit 15 star. I then am in a position, say one of my coaches quit. Then I have to sign up someone else quickly that day in order to maintain that rank. So it becomes very stressful for the people that are under that upline that wants to, you know, rank advance. So I hope that helps explain that a little bit. I'm also losing my voice. If you guys can hear that, I feel like my voice is really deep right now. Just don't worry about that. Cece also did illegal things like sign up one of her recruits under me for rank, and she jokingly admitted she was nicely forced some of her husband's friends to sign up under her for ranking, and she literally even signed up her great aunt this way. I'm 99% sure she would pay them back with gift cards, so wheezingly around all the rules, using money to desperately get whatever she wants, it's so sad. Plus, she pressured me to sign up anyone for ranks. I'm not kidding, anyone who breathes, including my grandmas and aunts. Heck no, I'm not messaging my grandma to buy a challenge pack for my rank. The final straw was in early 2020 when I heard some people doing a different method of Beachbody coaching without cold invite, market research, and attracting clients instead of sending annoying invites. I decided to give it a try and I liked it better, but I didn't tell Cece because I knew it would only cause drama. She honestly is the most dramatic and sensitive person I've ever met. Didn't help with the cult-like vibe. Eventually, I mentioned it to Cece and she blew up. She had had other recruits try that sort of coaching / recruiting without cold messaging and sales talk and kick them out of the team. She sent so many voicemails to me and was super condescending. Within 5 minutes, I, for some reason, decided to check the big Facebook team page. I was also one of her oldest coaches of 3.5 years, and she kicked me out. Just like that, I messaged her, "Did you kick me out of the team?" She was very sassy / rude and said yes, to protect her team and not have any negativity. I couldn't believe she would kick people out in a heartbeat. I didn't even leave Beachbody, but it was a blessing because I want nothing to do with all of that anymore. Looking back, she pushed us all so much to constantly buy all the Beachbody products, and they'd shame customers who couldn't afford Shakeology. Couldn't believe how catty some of the coaches could be. Also last year, I was coaching a brand new coach, let's call her S, and Cece was trying to get me to Diamond. So during a push group, she told me to get S on the phone with her, honestly so disrespectful to me since I was that girl's coach, and pressured her to sign up her boyfriend to get her to Emerald. She also wanted my then fiance to talk to her boyfriend and convince him to sign up. My fiance said Cece was literally crazy, and of course he wouldn't do that. S and I both had breakdowns that evening, and soon after S quit and wouldn't even talk to me. Cece does anything to rank, bulldoze anyone, anytime, even her downline's new coaches. It doesn't matter. I hate the mentality that we have to do everything for our goals because that usually includes squishing people, and I hate it. This is all just the tip of the iceberg and what I've witnessed over the past 3.5 years. My fiance was the one who awakened me to the craziness and brought me back to reality. Coaching took me away from him several times at night if I had a big goal to work towards. It was causing a temporary rift between us. Fast forward to fall 2020. I finally felt ready to share my Beachbody story and I made an IGTV. I didn't mention any names, tear anyone down, I just told my story with facts. Cece must have reported me because Beachbody Compliance emailed me and asked if I wanted to cancel my coach account since I clearly wasn't coaching anymore. They emailed again several days later and said if I don't reply back, they'll cancel my account. The audacity, right? Well, I had no idea of this until someone in my downline asked why it said their coach was Cece and not me. I emailed compliance back several times and couldn't believe they did that. Okay, I'm gonna pause. So apparently, you know, she made the IGTV. I'm just trying to explain it because people who aren't familiar with Beachbody and how it works, you may get confused. So Beachbody compliance emailed her and essentially told her, like, you need to cancel your account completely because you're talking crap on your IGTV, whatever. But then all of a sudden, someone in her downline said, oh, whenever I log into my coach account, it says that CC's my upline, not you, which means they had canceled her account because what happens in Beachbody, whenever you quit, your upline gets all of your recruits and all of your clients that you had when you were in Beachbody. So that's what that means. Like, that's what happened. What's sad too is even after I got kicked off the team, I stayed in contact with someone on CC's downline because we were friends and we were actually both pregnant at the same time, which was fun. At some point after I got reported for my IGTV, that friend blocked me on all platforms. Also, soon after I had my baby in late October, I, no kidding, started getting a bunch of new follows a week from MLM Huns. I finally experienced how much new moms and stay-at-home moms are preyed upon. This was so long. Thank you for reading my story, and I hope it saves people from getting sucked into MLMs. Love your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. I can definitely feel for this person because everything she said is so common. It happens all the time. You have uplines paying for downlines, and it just happens because a lot of people don't really recognize, like, hello, that's against the rules, because they're so used to their upline doing it that they think it's just normal. Like, it's just normal to use hundreds of dollars to buy your downlines, you know, products to stay active and to sign your grandparents up because you need to hit a certain rank and you need people to be on your downline. They think it's so normal when it's really not. Like, you should not be having to pay all of this money in order for your upline to rank advanced, because this also has happened to me when I was in Beachbody, so I can totally relate to like how she's feeling or how she felt with all of that happening to her. But it just shows how ridiculous and how much people will go through in order to hit the rank they want to hit or to achieve, you know, whatever level of success they want to achieve. Here we have another Beachbody MLM horror story. This goes, hey Deanna, I just wanted to share that I love watching your channel. I just wish that I did my research and watched your videos before signing up as a Beachbody coach. I feel like my story isn't too out of the ordinary, but I just wanted to put this out there in case anyone else could relate. When COVID hit, I was laid off from my job and I took that really hard. I worked my ass off to get that stability just to lose it. I was depressed, being stuck at home, worried about how long my unemployment benefits would last me, and worried about my health since my job had me on my feet a lot, and with the gyms closed, I was basically an MLM's dream target. I joined Beachbody for the workouts, but also for the community since I couldn't see my friends or family due to COVID. The community seemed so genuine at the time, and I felt very alone. I was constantly praised for jumping on team calls and posting my workouts. Things started to shift when I lost my Emerald status. Again, Emerald is the first rank you hit in Beachbody. Emerald means you have 2 coaches underneath you. So she lost that clearly by one coach maybe quitting or whatever. I went from having daily appraisals to hearing, babe, remember the date we sent? When are you going to get your rank back? Team call started, where are you? Why aren't you on your stories today? It got so overwhelming, and with the fact I had lost so much money with my coaching account, and I also was controlling an account under my mom's name just to keep her active. I have not heard a single word from my coach or our upline since then. Some fit family, right? They play up that you're a part of their quote unquote tribe, which I hate that word. I think the word tribe should never be used, and people really need to become educated on just that word in general, and it needs to not be used ever again. So they play up that you're a part of their tribe and want to help you reach your fitness goals until you stop earning them money. Funny thing is that I keep in contact with a girl and we have the same coach. She wants to get out soon too, but feels the same pressures that I did. She also happens to have lost her Emerald rank. They've known each other for much longer, like 10 years. She told me that our coach reached out to her on Thanksgiving, not to wish her happy holidays, but to tell her that she's inactive and all she needs to do is buy a box of Shakeology to be active again. Money really brings out the worst in people. They sidelines their friends once they stop hitting Success Club or lose rank, and they prey on certain targets. The more recent trend bringing those affected and vulnerable from the pandemic. Good news is that since I quit, I finally started working in an office job, which these Huns constantly frown upon, and I couldn't be happier. If you end up using my story, keep it anonymous. I love your videos, and us former coaches need to share our stories to hopefully put a stop to unethical business tactics. Yes. And I want to clap to that. So I don't have much to say about what she said, but the fact that, yeah, she was in a vulnerable state. And it's very common, you guys know, in 2020, it was very common for people to be in a bad state when it comes to finances and honestly, emotional, physical, everything has been affected because of COVID. And a lot of people have been affected. And because of that, a lot of people have been brought into MLMs. And unfortunately for this person too, which really just sucks. But I'm glad that she has gotten out and she has seen like, this ain't right. Like this is just isn't a right thing. And I think that, yeah, this needs to continue to be talked about because just because we entered a new year, hello, 2021, we're still in a pandemic. We still have things like that going on where people are still losing their jobs and not able to pay rent and all of these things. So we really need to help those individuals not get brought into that. So I feel like we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of, and let me know down below what you guys think, if you guys think this is gonna happen. But I definitely think we're going to be seeing a lot of reps again talking about use your stimulus check, even though they know our stimulus check as of right now when I'm filming this is only $600 per adult. Like that doesn't even pay rent, okay? That pays like nothing for people who don't have jobs and are really behind on their bills. They don't need to be joining an MLM. So we definitely need to be talking about it and watching out. Watching out for the people trying to take, stimulus checks. It's not right. So we're going to move on to the next MLM horror story. So this one is about doTERRA, which I really want to go in depth about them in 2021. So she goes, hello, I'm fairly new to the anti-MLM movement. I had no idea how horrible they are, and I thank you and the other YouTubers for educating me on the horrors of these companies. If you decide to use my story, you can use my name and my daughter's name. My horror story is from a doTERRA hun. My daughter has several medical issues, but the underlying one is epilepsy. We have a Facebook page, and I received a message from a follower. She seemed genuinely interested in learning about epilepsy and my daughter's progress. Then she asked about her medicine. We are very open about my daughter's medical and medicine routine because we want to spread awareness and bring epilepsy out of the shadows. The lady asked if I had ever tried natural remedy medicines. I thought she was referring to CBD oil and sent a long message about wanting to try it, but it just wasn't the right time. She quickly responded, almost offended, that I thought she was referring to that. She was actually referring to essential oils. I said no, I hadn't considered them, nor did I know enough about them to say yes or no. I told her I would research it since, of course, I'd prefer my child not to be on chemicals if they aren't necessary. She sent me her catalog and circled the oils for all of my daughter's issues. I couldn't believe what I found when I was researching these oils. I sent her a message that I had researched it and didn't feel like it was something I wanted to try at the time. This bitch responds that I must hate my daughter and want her to die since I'm refusing to try these life-saving oils. I can't deal with this. I couldn't believe it and I broke down in tears, thinking maybe I'm doing something wrong. I was dealing with so much at the time and was already stressed and depressed beyond what I could handle. I blocked the hun from my daughter's page and tried to forget the awful messages. 2 days later, no, oh my God. 2 days later, CPS was at my door for a complaint that I was medically abusing my daughter. Of course, they couldn't tell me who made the complaint, but I knew it was her. Come to find out, the hun was a parent in my son's Boy Scout troop. Thankfully, CPS didn't take my daughter and she's now doing well on only 1 pill a day. I'll never give one of these horrible companies any money of mine and I will continue to educate my friends that have been sucked into these scams. Have a wonderful day. Oh no, oh no. The audacity. I don't even have words. Like I literally don't have words for how disgusting that is. You don't, like, come on. In general, CPS is used for actual issues, okay? Just because someone didn't want to use your dang doTERRA oils doesn't mean they're abusing their child because they didn't want to try your oils. Now you're taking resources, because I take that very seriously. I take CPS, all of that very seriously, and you're taking resources away from another family, another child that may be, abused or whatever it may be. You're taking their resources away by dragging these CPS individuals to come, interview and do all of that. I actually had this happen to me as a kid because I was always a kid that, like, if you guys can't tell, I'm really loud on YouTube. I would always scream. So someone called like CPS CPS once because I was always yelling, even though like my mom wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just an annoying child that all I did was scream. And because of that, we got CPS called, and it took like a couple of weeks, and I was interviewed as a kid. I felt like 5 times in different locations. I was called out of school. I was called out of, you know, things I was doing, extracurricular activities, and that's taking time and resources away from actual people who are being hurt. Now, clearly the person didn't know that I was just a screamer as a child, so that makes sense that someone called because I was just yelling all of the time. But besides that, you don't just call CPS on someone because they don't want to use your oils. That's one of the most disgusting stories that I've ever heard. I would love to hear what you guys have to say down below to that one. But I'm so happy she's doing okay, and the daughter is doing okay, and she's on 1 pill a day. My family actually has a lot of issues. You know, we have a lot of children in our family who have epilepsy and things like that, and I've seen just the worst things happen with them. And I know one of my cousins is on medication after medication after medication, and it's just really great to see that someone, you know, is finding something that works for their kid and bringing awareness to epilepsy by having Facebook groups and talking about it. So besides that completely disgusting story, let's move on to the next one. This one is titled MLM Nightmare, so I'm a little bit nervous. It says, hey, my name is Krista. So this isn't really a nightmare story because I've never been in an MLM, and I've always been anti-MLM since I was a kid, and so a lot of relatives suffer from them. This has to do with a really awkward Hunbot situation. So it starts in college when I began having problems with my health. Basically, I felt like a 70-year-old in a 20-something-year-old's body. It was miserable. I went to campus doctors, but they never took me seriously and always said it was stress. Fast forward to graduating and getting a real job with medical benefits. I work for a great company that has different programs for people and kids with disabilities, and I love my job there. However, over the past 2 years, my health was getting worse, to the point I couldn't even walk from pain in my knees. I never had energy. This affected my work, and I missed a lot of days. My boss encouraged me to speak with a doctor to figure it out so they would be better able to accommodate me at work. That's awesome. So after like a year of lab test scans, x-rays, and so many specialists, I finally got the diagnosis of fibromyalgia, oh no, which is a chronic illness that affects the central nervous system. It kind of sucked hearing that, especially at 25, now confronting the idea this will never change and only get worse over time. It made me re-examine a lot of goals I had because what I can do with this illness is limited. My doctor suggested I join an online support group to help me process some of this with people dealing with the same thing. So I did, and it was great. It was a really large group on Facebook with people across the world. It was great to get much information. Everyone was so supportive and helpful in answering questions. It really helped me transition into accepting my illness. One day I posted asking someone about what supplements people use for pain. This was during the beginning of quarantine, and without my daily gym sessions, my knees were back to being terrible and I was in so much pain. A little while after my post was up, I got a random friend request from, let's call her Karen. Please, anyone with the name Karen out there, do not get offended that she used that name. She just picked a fake random name. Anyway, I don't know her, so I go to her profile to see what's up. I then notice she works for the same company as me, which is really small, by the way. She's the HR person there. I don't know her because she was only hired a few months before. I then got really paranoid because I keep my social media very far away from work. I even changed my name on there so people couldn't search me. I decided I would send her a message just to check in and see how she found me. When I went to my messages, there was already one from her. I also noticed that she was in the same fibromyalgia group as me, so I thought maybe it was just her reaching out. So I read the message, and it's pretty vague, and there's a link to order some CBD, and she says to message her with questions. I put it together in my head that she saw my post about pain and linked me to CBD. Great, I love CBD, and also was happy to figure out she probably doesn't even know who I am. I also don't have my work link, so she couldn't tell I worked for the same company. I click the link and it takes me to her profile for her My Daily Choice website, which is an MLM that sells some hemp and CBD products. Usually I just delete and block the Hunbots, but I got even more paranoid about the fact that she's in my company's head HR, and I'm pretty sure there are regulations against trying to get your subordinates to join your MLM. And I was even more worried because wouldn't you go to HR with situations like that? And she worked in HR. I was getting anxious trying to figure out if she knew I even worked for the same company or if it was really all some weird coincidence. I decided to call my boss, and it was such an awkward conversation. Both of us were kind of stumped on what to do. Ultimately, he told me it's probably a weird fluke and that she probably doesn't know I work in the same company and that I should just not accept her friend requests or reply to her messages. So that's what I did. The more I thought about it, all the angrier I was getting. I feel like she's preying off of women in this group who are dealing with a serious illness and looking for help. She singled me out in a post where I was asking for help because of my extreme pain. I just think that's so shitty, and I'm so worried that she may have scammed other women on this page, and I can't even tell her off because we technically work together and I don't want to deal with any situations down the line. Update. I just went to my other messages on Facebook, and despite never accepting the friend request or responding to her message, she's been spamming me with messages for months. Also, I clicked her page again to find out she's now in paparazzi, the jewelry MLM. On one part, I feel bad for her and literally anyone who gets sucked into a pyramid scheme, but also she's preying on really vulnerable, chronically ill women just looking for support. That's just really sickening. I'm really anxious for the day where I might actually have to meet her in person. I doubt she'll recognize me or anything, but it's just so awkward and anxiety producing. Anyways, thanks for the read. I really enjoy your channel. Oh, these are the things that really suck. So I'm so sorry you got diagnosed with that. I've heard of a couple people who have had that, and it's not an easy thing to deal with. I hope that you're doing okay. I would love an update down below on how you're doing. If you want to talk about how you're doing, you totally don't have to. But yeah, I see this kind of stuff a lot, especially with Facebook groups, and it's definitely something you have to look into. So I always recommend people look at Facebook group rules. So a lot of the times in Facebook groups, the rules will literally say like cannot promote your own businesses or promote your own MLM or whatever it may be. So they can essentially kick her out of the group. So that's something I would always look into first, is making sure they're even allowed to talk about their MLM or send people things. I would get that person kicked out of the group. Even if she has a diagnosis and everything like that, she's trying to prey on those people in that group, even if she's unknowingly doing it, right? Because a lot of people in MLMs, they just search for the person that they were or are in their MLM. If she's struggling with that diagnosis, maybe she'll reach out to people that are struggling too, because she knows how it feels and she's trying to find her own community. So yes, it would suck for her to get out of that big group that has people from all over the world dealing with this diagnosis, but at the same time, how many people have probably bought her CBD already, you know, when they're asking for things to help with their pain? So I always look at that, and we kind of have to help those people. So I would definitely recommend looking at that. But the fact that she works with you, like, I could not imagine like having an issue with someone that works in HR and then never knowing if you're gonna like come across them, and especially knowing that the person who works in HR doesn't even know who you are, like because you changed your name on Facebook and stuff, and she could just walk in one day to your work and all of a sudden you be standing there and she remembers you. I can totally see where you say that's like anxiety producing, because I would be stressed out about that. I don't like weird and awkward situations. I have a lot of like social anxiety, so something like that would give me like a lot of, it would just make me really anxious. And a workplace should never be like that. Workplace should be a welcome, inviting environment, not one that you have to be worried if HR person is going to come down your, you know, and make you get in trouble or whatever. So let me know what you guys think about these stories. Again, let me know what you guys think about continuing MLM horror stories into 2021. I could totally just do them until I run out of stories, but I probably have like 70 stories left in my email. I'm still trying to organize it. I've been failing at organizing my email and getting off email lists that don't matter, that I should not be on, because it's just filling my inbox up. So let me know how you guys want to continue this. Clearly, I would love to keep doing these every Friday. I love reading people's stories and giving people a voice on my platform every single week, but I would just love to see what you guys think about it. Also, next week's MLM Horror Stories, I'm really excited because it's going to have my first YouTube sponsorship, which is so insane. It's with a company that I really enjoy, I really like, and I really feel like you guys would like, and I really feel like my people, especially who are maybe college students or want to be more productive or things like that, this is going to be such a cool sponsorship. So be on the lookout for next week's video for MLM Horror Stories. And that's going to be all for our first week down. Don't forget that I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in 2021. I may also start doing random live streams on the weekends and things like that. So make sure to always check the community tab. Also, I never say this, but go follow me on Instagram. I would love to chat with you guys over there. I do a lot more things on Instagram stories. I'm always doing polls. I'm always answering questions about MLMs and things like that. I'm doing daily Instagram posts on my feed. I also ask a lot of feedback about YouTube on my Instagram. So definitely make sure to go and check me out there. You don't have to if you don't want to. Like, supporting me on here is amazing in itself, but my Instagram definitely has a lot more backstage stuff for you guys. Definitely go and check that out. And I'll see you guys on Monday's video.